Hey,
Hi.
what's up? Plugged on Tyler Keith. We're here to do the top 10 Iced Earth songs. Iced Earth just put out their new album, Incorruptible. We have a review up. You can watch that. We love Iced Earth a lot. We listen to them a lot. And so we thought we have two video ideas. These are the top 10 Iced Earth songs, and then we're going to do... We rank all 12 of their albums. So that'll be coming out here eventually too. So look forward to both of them. But yeah, Iced Earth, they kick ass. Listening to a lot of Iced Earth over the past few weeks makes me realize how much good stuff they have. And
They have a lot
these lists that we've been working on are definitely two of the harder ones we've done recently in a long time. Because
Especially the albums one. The albums one was hard.
Because Iced Earth, they don't have bad albums. Like, every album they have is good.
Yeah, it's like I would.
You know?
There's not like any like. There's nothing inherently wrong with any of their albums.
Yeah.
Is a nice way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's easy to do other bands because you have, like, well, these are the stinker albums, these are the really good albums, and the rest falls in the middle. But when you have a band that, like, everything's good... Anyways, let's dive into this. Let's start at number 10.
My number 10, I have Life and Death from their first album. I really like that because it kind of it's almost in some ways like the intro of the song kind of starts off differently from the rest of the song, and it's it's one of my two favorite songs. I really struggled putting between this one and the title track on this one because I do really like the title track.
The title track's good.
But I think the main reason I like this song a lot is because of the riffage in this song. It's also the reason why I like Iced Earth a lot too, is because both of these songs are true testaments to the fact that Iced Earth is a bunch of riff machines, and I really like the main riff in the song, and like a lot of the riffs in the entire song, which is, in all honesty, I just like it so much that's why it's on my list. Like, that's really the reason. But yeah.
Number 10, I have Dragon's Child from Horror Show. Dragon's Child jams. I love how the song starts, but the best part is the verses to me. The verse riff is super fucking heavy and super catchy, but then Matt Barlow's vocals over top of it are fantastic. The chorus is fantastic. That whole song just completely fucking destroys. It's heavy. That's one reason why I just really like that song, because it's just a very heavy song, especially in the verses. And verses, though, get stuck in your head all day. So that's my number 10.
Number 9, I have Something Wicked Part 1.
That's good.
I like just the whole setup of the song, because the whole album is Framing Armageddon is a concept album, and that kind of bleeds through in the songs. And I feel like that's definitely the case with this song. The song tells a story, which is hard to do with songs, especially in a singular song. Judging from coming from the place where I'm trying to write something like that, it's hard. It's not the easiest thing. And one thing is, I love the chorus. The chorus, I think, is up there, and it ranks with like really any Iced Earth chorus, in my opinion. I think it's just genuinely really good. There's going to be a spoiler alert for the rest of my list. There's a good bit of Tim Owens on my list. There's almost half my list is Tim Owens.
Yeah.
So, and this is a great example of just like a great chorus and just great everything. It's also one of the reasons why I like this album, is because it's a little bit more of the more melodic kind of stuff that they write. Because especially like a lot of their early stuff is, you could arguably describe it as power thrash, which is what I've heard some people describe Iced Earth as, and that carries through to a lot of their albums. And I like this because this is not what this is.
Definitely, which we'll talk about a lot more with the albums video. Like the Tim Owens era is like some of the most ambitious shit that they've done, and it's so huge. It's just huge.
Yeah,
it's awesome. At number 9, I have I Died For You from the Dark Saga. This is a song that has always stuck with me for a long time with Iced Earth, even when I was first starting to get into them. This song always stood out to me. I love this song. I love Matt Barlow's vocals on it, and I love the soft, very dark parts of it. But then I love when the guitars kick in, the main riff kicks in, it gets distorted and everything, and Matt Barlow's vocals there is just fantastic. It's just a really good song, and I love the lyrics to it and everything. So, yeah.
Number 8, from the same album, I Have a Charge to Keep. Honestly, you could just rewind and just look at everything I said for Something Wicked for the most part, and then put it to this song, and that kind of works because again, a lot of the reasons that I like it is choruses. I like a lot of Iced Earth songs, usually based on the chorus. Iced Earth writes some of the best choruses out there, and in this song specifically from this album, it does the thing that happens elsewhere, but a lot happens during the Tim Owens era of the band, where there's kind of like the chorus, but then Tim Owens comes in and he's kind of just belting, like kind of off time with the rest of the chorus, and he's hitting like the high notes that only Tim Owens can hit anymore, and it's just like that's the part that sticks to me the most. I mean, I really like the verse, like riff, the guitars behind the verse in the song too, and just like. Again, I really like the fact that this song isn't just like a song; it tells a story, and that's really a lot of what I like about this song and about those songs in general.
Yeah, I kind of like how sad that chorus sounds in a way. It's fantastic.
Makes you feel things, man.
It does. At number 8, I have "Plagues of Babylon." The title track from the album "Plagues of Babylon." This song just kicks ass, and to me. Iced Earth can write some very epic stuff, and this is like one of the most epic things that they've written. I mean, I love the choruses in this song. I love just about everything about it. And I love the way it starts. It starts so cool, just with, the drums and the guitar kind of together with just the palm mutes, and then the guitar lead starts coming and everything. And it's just such a cool opening to the song, but also the whole entire album. Dystopia is a really good album, and you listen. If you listen to everything in order, you have The Crucible of Man, which was such a fucking epic and huge album, and then you have Dystopia, which is so straightforward, and then now with Plagues of Babylon, they wrote something really big, and I think Stu Block sounds fantastic on this. It was cool to hear him with something big like this, and I love the final chorus at the end too, when the chorus kind of keeps going, he's doing his own thing and everything. It's great.
My number 7, with the most recent song that I have on my list, I have Black Flag from their new album. I really like Black Flag. I like the subject matter because it's something a little bit different for what Iced Earth does, and I think what sells it to me is the leads. The guitar leads are incredible. The solo is awesome, and I like everything about the second half of the chorus during the second and third choruses, when it picks up and there's like the galloping riff behind it. That's definitely like one of my favorite parts of Incorruptible as an album, and it's just such a cool thing because the song starts off, it's a little bit slower, and it has a little bit more. It sounds like it's going to be this epic thing, and then it kind of becomes more of the straightforward Iced Earth kind of like more thrashy songs, and that's what I really like because it fits the subject matter, and this is the kind of song that I think they could only do with Stu Block as the vocals, because he's got that gruffness to his vocals that kind of fits the pirate theme of the song, and I just really like it. So that's why it's my number 7.
Number 7, I have The Reckoning, Don't Tread on Me, from The Glorious Burden. This was the first Iced Earth song I ever heard, and I saw the music video for it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I love it. That song has such an anger and just a furiosity to it, because it starts off with just this incredible chorus and a super catchy riff for the chorus. But then, it slows down everything, picks up with a really thrashy, cool riff. But the verses is the part that always gets me. Those verses are fucking mean, and Tim Owens sounds just incredible on it. I think when Iced Earth with him wanted to get fast and heavy, I think he just kind of took it to a whole nother level with his vocals, and that's like a perfect fucking example. Is during the verses of that song. It's fantastic. And then it just like breaks in the middle, and it has this like weird section with clean guitar, and his vocals are flying in. Yeah, it's a cool song.
It is a cool song. That was another one that I very much considered putting on my list. Number 6, I have Dante's Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Dante's Inferno, and when I mean I like the original, I think, better than the re-recording that they did a couple years ago, because there's just something that, especially when it fits in the context of the album, that's so nice about the original. Because this is, which is weird, because this is like, we were just mentioning, you know, probably that the Tim Owens era is probably the most ambitious era of Iced Earth. I feel like this is like the most ambitious song they've ever written. If you want to look at a song that just kind of goes, the song goes for 16 straight fucking minutes, going back and forth between, you know, the clean parts to, you know, these really epic parts, the really fast parts. It's just, this is kind of like the song that encapsulates, one of these songs that encapsulates everything that Iced Earth is, and that's why I think this song is special, because it's like, you know, listening to, again, if you listen to like Dystopia is a lot more straightforward, and then you go and you listen to either of the Something Wicked albums, it's a lot bigger and it's more, you know, open, whereas like this kind of hits everything, and that's why I like it so much.
Yeah, definitely. Number 6, I have Watching Over Me from Something Wicked This Way Comes. This is probably the most popular Iced Earth song. It's definitely like the most commercial song they have. But it's such a feel-good song. Like, it makes you just feel happy inside listening to it. And I absolutely love the final few choruses that they do, and the guitar solo in it is cool. And it's just got something really special about it. And I think it's probably just, you know, lyrics and all that stuff. But it's a great song.
At number 5? Yeah, 5. I have 10,000 Strong. It's another example of, it's the chorus that makes the song. I mean, the whole song is cool. It's another example of why, at least, even still personally, even though the Stu Block era is might eventually overtake it, especially because there's a lot more to reference off of, why the Tim Owens era of Iced Earth is my personal favorite era, even though it's only 2 albums. But it's awesome. Mm-hmm. And it's just like everything about the song. The song is fast, and then yet the chorus is this kind of epic Iced Earth chorus, but it doesn't lose its pace, its aggression, really, during the chorus, which I think is nice, because, you know, a lot of times when, even with this band and a lot of other bands, when they write choruses like that you kind of lose that, and it just kind of slows down and kind of becomes more epic. And I like that this is like a little bit different, but yet very much Iced Earth. And again, it's another reason why this fits very well into Framing Armageddon as an album, why I like it so much. So
yeah. Shit, what do I have? Number 5, I have Come What May, off of The Crucible of Man, which, you know, this has Matt Barlow on it when he returned for the band like 10 years later. I love this song. I love the opening guitar and everything, and I love the verses, how they have this like really cool palm muted guitar kind of in the background that just kind of keeps going. It's this just driving energy, and then that chorus is just phenomenal. It's such a huge chorus, but so good, so catchy. Lyrically, it's fantastic, and it's good. It's very good. I remember the first time I saw Iced Earth, it was at the Chameleon Club, mm-hmm. and they for some fucking reason forced me up on the balcony because I was only 18 at the time, and they played this song. But I remember just looking down at the crowd, and like everybody's singing this song, and it was such a cool moment. I didn't know the song at the time. I'm like, I need to check this out. Check that out. Loved it ever since. So
And number 4, I have Watching Over Me.
Mm.
I agree with a lot of the stuff that Tyler said. The only stuff that I'll really add is that I like the contrast. And it's really heavy, which is like if the song kind of comes on in the background and you don't notice it, especially when it jumps to that first chorus, it's just, it hits. Like, that is crunchy and it's just heavy. Yeah. Like, it's a really simple riff, but like, it just kind of comes in and it's great. And I think that's one of the things, you know, the chorus and like all the feel good stuff that Tyler mentioned. I like this song a lot. This was probably the first Iced Earth song that I heard outside of the Gettysburg trilogy. So that's why I like the song a lot. So it's a little special.
Mm-hmm. Number 4, I had Dante's Inferno. Dante, like, I agree with everything Keith said. I mean, it's such a great song, and it truly does hold your attention for all 16 minutes, and there's no single part of it that's bad. And it's just awesome that Iced Earth did something that big only on their 3rd album, and they had a new singer too at the time, and they just fucking nailed it, and they wrote one of the best songs that they've ever written. And I mean, yeah, like you said, it literally has everything. I love the middle part where it gets kind of like eerie and weird, but it still has some heaviness going to it, and it's just fantastic. It's Burnt Offerings is a good album, and I think without Dante's Inferno, I don't think it would stand up as great as it does.
No,
like, there are good other songs in there that's good, but Dante's Inferno just completely takes it up to another level. So it's a fantastic song.
At number 3, I have Plagues of Babylon.
Ooh.
I really like this song, especially because I did like Dystopia, but then again, listening to my main knowledge of Iced Earth being The Glorious Burden and like the Gettysburg trilogy and things like that, like, listening to Dystopia, it's like, oh yeah, this is cool, but it's like, it's not that, you know, especially at that time of like early of me getting into Iced Earth. And then they put out this song in 2014, or was it whatever, when the song first came out, and then they put out early, and I'm just like, oh, because this is another example of a song, it just goes. It doesn't really rush anymore. The intro, I think, is probably the best intro that Iced Earth's done. And I just really like, again, like the contrast. They got the epic chorus, one of their best. I like the verse riff because it's got a thrashy feel to it. The middle section's also really cool. I like how they kind of, again, take the same idea from like the intro and they bring it back throughout the song and they tweak it and make it work, and then just kind of build a lot of the song off of it. I think it's just definitely, in my opinion, the standout track from that album.
Mm-hmm. At number 3, I have Burning Times from Something Wicked This Way Comes. I just get completely fucking fired up every time the song comes on. I love the way it starts with the drums just, you know, the riffs just fucking kicking off and the drums are behind it just pounding everything, and then it finally busts in, you know, the whole band. And man, just talk about fucking heavy and groovy and catchy as shit with the guitars during the chorus. But then Matt Barlow's vocals over top of it are fantastic, and I love, you know, I love when he gets, you know, higher pitched and kind of shrieky in this song. It's just phenomenal. It's just, and then you have the solo, which is pretty cool, but I think the best part of the song to me, besides the beginning, is coming out of the solo. It just goes straight back into the verse, and it's like, dude, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop its heaviness. It's just such a fantastic song.
At number 2, on a complete reversal from the last one, I have Dystopia.
Ooh.
I really like Dystopia. Because the main riff is really weird sounding, but it's super cool. Or at least it sounds really weird to me, just so it's all kind of jumpy. I like the way that Stu Block sounds in the verses. I like the pre-chorus. And then the part that sells it for me is kind of the actual chorus, where it's this weird pattern where it kind of follows both like the guitar, and then there's like a little bit of like, not like a lead, but like there's more like tracks underneath it. and he kind of goes back and forth, and his vocal patterns kind of somehow match up between the two, and I really like that. In complete opposite of what I said before about like, you know, I liking more of Iced Earth's bigger things. Over time, I come to appreciate how just boom and in your face this song is, because again, this is a song it doesn't stop. It just, you know, there's not really like any kind of break, and I really like that about this song, because it captures the feeling of that album very well. Which, I mean, it's the title track, of course it would. So
yeah, and with that being the first song on the first album with Stu Block, like that was it's a fantastic song with like, yeah, motherfuckers, I'm good too, you know. What we on two? At 2, I have 10,000 Strong. Motherfucker, I love this song. I love the simplicity yet the heaviness of the main riff, and it's just fucking amazing. I love the way this song starts off with the heaviness of that riff, but then Tim Owen's vocals just screaming in your face at the start. It's like, and he just keeps it going. Then he gets into just some badass fucking vocals, but it's the chorus that gets me every time. That chorus is just, it is my favorite chorus that Iced Earth has ever written. It's so good. It's epic, but it's got such a like a thundering rhythm to it. It's such a feel good quality about it, and it just makes you smile and want to throw your fucking the horns up in the air. It's just fantastic. I love it.
All right, number 1, I have Hold at All Costs.
Yeah, I figured we probably share something out of that.
Is that your number 1?
No, it's not.
Oh.
Mine's The Devil to Pay.
Oh, okay.
Which is the first part. Yours is the second part of the whole Gettysburg trilogy off of this album. Glorious Burden.
I like Hold at All Costs partly because it's, to me, also the song that's easiest to listen to by itself out of those 3 songs. Like, it's hard for me to just sit and listen to The Devil to Pay and then not just go on and continue to listen to Hold at All Costs and then, you know, continue onward. Whereas Hold at All Costs is a good song that exists by itself. And I love the intro, and again, this is the whole storytelling thing, which I've mentioned a couple of times. The main riff behind the verse is cool, and I just like the Tim Owens' delivery during the verse. But then one of the parts that gets me is, this is my favorite chorus that Iced Earth has ever done. I love the chorus, especially like one of my 2 favorite parts of the whole song is the first time the chorus comes in, but it's just the guitars underneath it, and it's just like, this sounds epic as shit. Like, you could literally not have any words here and it would be good, and then the words come in and it just makes it even better. And then I also love the like guitar harmonies that's in the middle of the song, like after the second chorus, and it just kind of like, you know, it's not like a solo, but it's just you know, the whole big sound that the whole Gettysburg thing has, because it's got like the orchestra or whatever behind it, and I just love that part. Like, that's some of my favorite like guitar harmonies like ever. And I love Hold at All Costs. It's my favorite.
The thing I love about that chorus when the vocals come in is like, you know, the Battle of Gettysburg was a really just bloody fucking shitty conflict, you know?
Yeah.
And they make it sound like the chorus there sounds so like sad and dour.
Yeah.
You know, to go along with the situation that actually happened. You know, it's like they do a really good job of this entire thing, like 30 minutes of capturing that. But that chorus is phenomenal. Yeah, I have The Devil to Pay, and I just love this song. And I love how it starts off with the acoustic guitar and just Tim Owens vocals. But then I love the verse riff. I love the verses. I love their energy and their heaviness. And I think it's like the second verse maybe when Tim Owens' vocals get, you know, he goes higher up in his tone and everything. A little bit more badass to it. It's just phenomenal. But I love the guitar leads during the chorus for this one. And then I love, you know, how the vocals keep going, and it's one of those things where like the chorus is going, but then Tim Owens is doing something else over top of it, and it's a phenomenal song, and it just gives me the feels every time. It also, I mean, this album, but especially this trilogy of songs, just bring back good memories.
They do.
Like, this was the first album that I got into from Iced Earth, and I mean, we fucking listened to this stuff nonstop
For a while.
long time. We would just camp out. You know, this was one of the things we would listen to all the time. So that's good. Good memories associated with it. But I just think it's one of the best fucking things they've ever written. So, yeah. Iced Earth has a lot of fucking great songs, so this was a hard list to put together. I just have a few more. I was just kind of writing a bunch of shit down, then put it in order of what I felt best. When the Eagle Cries.
That almost made my list.
Yeah, that chorus is just incredible. A Question of Heaven off of the Dark Saga is such a beautiful song. Storm Rider off of Night of the Storm Rider is such a thrashy, just fucking in your face song. That's super catchy. When the Night Falls from their first album, I love the guitar riff during the chorus and everything. That gets me every time. It's just such a fucking great riff. And then the last one is Ghost of Freedom off of Harshaw. Such a beautiful song.
The only ones that I'll throw out there is, I almost had When the Eagle Cries as well. As I kind of mentioned, I almost had Iced Earth. Cthulhu from Plagues of Babylon. I also really like that song, and I did also have Come What May on mine. That was one that I had considered, but
Come What May.
No. No.
Anyways, let us know what your favorite Iced Earth songs are. Make sure you check out our ranking of all the albums.